Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Reno Ukefest 2024 artist interview. We are here with Ukulenny, and Ukulenny resides in the Bay Area, I believe, and he's here for you to get to know. So he will be teaching this year and performing at Reno. His face is on the poster, and we've got a few questions for him. So, Lenny, why don't you just tell us a little bit about you?
Yeah, I'm based out here in Oakland, California, and I originally grew up in San Diego and moved up here to study at UC Berkeley. And I've been playing ukulele since I graduated in 2008, 2009, and hopped on a YouTube, started my career there, teaching, alongside on separate windows with, Ukulele Underground and the uke teacher. We were all there at the same time and started, eventually going to festivals where I met Danny and at the what was that? The Wine Country
Wine
Ukulele
Country. Yeah, I have a
Festival.
great photo
Yes.
there. Yeah.
Yes, and that kind of kicked off my career. So it started with you, and now we're here. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, and basically have been working here in the Bay Area and along with Cynthia Lynn as well, who we know is rocketed to YouTube fame, and she lives in Hawaii now, but I'm holding it down in the Bay Area, and we actually kicked off a couple of SF Summer Uke Fests in
Yes.
years past, and continue to do events out here in the Bay Area. So really excited to get to hop on the car and get out to Reno in October.
Yeah, cool, man. Awesome. So what are you currently working on? Any passions or projects?
Yeah, I just finished. I'm very excited to say that I'm published. I guess I can say that it's an ebook that we released with Uke Mag. It was kind of like 1 or 2 years in the making. I was recording videos for it, so it's a video and ebook series. It's called Moving On Up. It's available at the Uke Mag store. It's 12 chapters of kind of walking through the movement of being a beginner to being more like a beginner intermediate, and it covers a lot of my kind of body of work that I've been pushing on my students about soloing, about changing keys, bar chords, understanding the fretboard better. So each chapter comes with a video. And what's exciting about it is it's basically a compilation of a big body of work that I've been pushing on my students and in workshops where I talk a lot about the fretboard and about modes. So, like the major mode and the mixolydian mode are two of the modes that I like to teach the most in when it comes to soloing. If you don't know what mixolydian means, you will if you talk to me.
Yeah.
So, like, it was really a challenge to put all of my best lessons in the same place. So it was really cool to put together. I'm really grateful for Uke Mag for giving me the opportunity to put my work together in this compilation.
That sounds awesome. And you were mentioning about modes as well. You and Perry could totally get together and have a total nerd fest about modes. He's always trying to get me in the car, like, hey, listen to this. What mode is it? I'm like, I'm not there and I don't need to be there. But you guys, man, like when you get together at Reno, it's going to be pretty fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a mood, I think. Or
That's
is it a
right.
vibe or a mood? It's gonna be a vibe. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's so cool that it's Ukulele Magazine too, because they're one of our sponsors as well. They're very integral in the ukulele learning community. Very awesome. Well, I will have already put a little link down below as we're speaking, so you can all head on over and check that out. Um, Beautiful. So, how about what you're going to be teaching at Reno this year?
Yeah, so I have four workshops. I have a funk strumming workshop, which I really like teaching,
Very
chucks and
exciting.
kind of like muting with the left hand.
Mhm.
And then we have two different soloing workshops. So one is kind of more like understanding the fretboard. I call it Don't Fret. It's a way to understand the fretboard. But as we were talking about modes, basically if you learn the major mode and the mixolydian mode, they're just two different kind of scales, but they look very similar. You
Mhm.
will have understood like 50% of the fretboard already. So it's like that to me is where I got to give a big ups to like Craig and Sarah. They're also integral to like our relationship together. Like Craig and Sarah were
Uh-huh.
also there at the beginning of my uke festival career. But Sarah has this great workshop, like learning beyond the third fret, you know. And I feel like with modes, you do the same thing, where it's like you don't have to be afraid to play above the seventh fret when you know modes and you know major scales. So between my kind of beginner workshop on that, don't fret, and then soloing a la mode,
Uh-huh.
is where I also talk about just using a scale shape and what you're looking for when you take a solo. So those are my two soloing workshops. Um, and then I have a bass workshop. That's just bass 101.
That's right.
I love teaching bass. Bass is a another love of my life. I have a lot of loves when it comes to music, but bass is just so fun because once you understand it, you can hop on a jam with anybody. You know that you've been picking up the bass more and more, and you realize like you could jam with anybody if you know a little bit around the bass.
Well, and a lot of times too, if you're willing to stay humble and not get too fancy, because I realized that when you start getting fancy, that's when the band starts kind of giving you the side eye, like, what are you doing? I always keep that in mind that I don't have to be fancy or flourishy in playing the bass because I'm holding down the beat in the background. So it's okay with my part of the journey I'm on for bass is very minimal. I've learned a bunch of bass songs, but jumping into a jam, I still get a little apprehensive. And so just knowing my ones and fives and I can comfortably stay there, that's where I'm at as far as jamming goes.
Like what I like to say is if you play the roots, you get paid. Like if you just play the roots by themselves, you do the gig, you're going to get paid.
It sounds like you can at least get them started on that. And then actually, Conrad Cayman is going to take them on base 102 and 103.
That's so cool. So there's going to
Yeah.
be a lot of programming for bass, which is great. I mean, like the cool thing, I've been lucky to like work with Kala and with Ubase like from the beginning of my career, where I've got one in my hands, and it really changed the way that I do my career because now I loop pedal and I play the bass and I
Yeah.
do a lot of bass stuff.
Yeah.
But I think because the bass is so accessible now with being a U bass, like it's less threatening than having to carry around a full size bass. The fact that I can carry my bass and my uke like over my shoulder without feeling any pain, they're
Oh,
so light. It's just been a joy, and I'm so glad to see more of it happen at Ukefest now that we have a bass component. And when you put bass and ukulele together, it's like magic because of the harmonies and the frequencies. It's just
yeah.
a magical place. Hmm.
And I found that learning bass also inspired me differently in ukulele because it's different. It's different finger movements, different fundamentals. You're walking into a thing instead of being on it. So, anyone at home who's curious or wondering about picking up the bass, maybe sign up for Lenny's Bass 101 class
Let's
because
go.
it's a badass instrument. I gotta say, I think it's the coolest one. I'm super excited about your funk workshop and your soloing stuff. I think, and then they're also going to be able to put it into practice because Perry advocated for a jazz jam and a blues jam during the workshop sessions. So it's basically a workshop, but it's a jam, and people are going to be encouraged to play the songs that they learned in your class or the techniques. So that will be fun to hear you, Neal Chin, Perry, and Conrad all grooving together in these jam classes. So everybody will be able to hear what it sounds like when you put it into action.
Yeah, I mean, I already love jamming with all these guys. We've gotten to jam over the years, and it'll be cool to have that in an environment where not only do we want to do the jam, but we want to share in the techniques and the teaching. Kind of like break bread on the art of jamming. I think
Oh,
that's being a teacher and also living music just encourages us more. Like we eat it all the time. We get to like enjoy and savor jam sessions. And as a teacher, we want everybody else to experience that. So we'll definitely be talking about that. But I'm looking to continue that spirit and see more of that at Ukefest, where we get to share that experience with other people.
all right. Well, you can catch Lenny at the Reno Uke Fest October 9th through the 12th. And thank you so much for making time for us today.
Yeah, take care. Have a great week.
See you all later.